This time at the Quick Speed Shop, I'm cutting up this rusty Dodge truck. Look at it, it's crazy. Alright, come on. Oh boy. Booyah. Hey, welcome back to the Quick Speed Shop. We're over here, we're working on the brown, big bad brown express truck, my 1980 Dodge 200. Last time we got into the engine, the Magnum 5.9 swap I'm going to do in this thing. If you want to go back in the video, you can check out. But what we got pretty much is a really rusty, but really low mileage 1980 Dodge W200 over here. Step side, long box, which is kind of rare. And we got some parts trucks back here. Where is it? Where am I? Right there. I got a new chassis, a 75 300 chassis over here. Don't worry about them Jeeps, that's future projects. So what we're going to do today, I've been storing this. You can see the tarps are all deteriorated. That means it's time to cut this cab up and liberate this chassis so we can start to restore it for the truck to swap in under here. So I'm going to set up the camera. We're going to tear all the tarps off this thing. There's no glass in it. Kids smashed the windows out of it years ago when it was at the previous owner's place. The cab is absolute junk. The bird bath hood is good. The fenders are junk. The doors are savable-ish. The cab is junk. It's an adventurer package, so it's got bucket seats. I'm saving those. I'm gonna save the dash and stuff. It's got roof lights, but most of the sheet metal is garbage. So we're gonna cut this thing up right now and then get the chassis ready to start to strip for paint. We're gonna paint it with Eastwood rust encapsulator. It's in a really nice shape. Just a little bit of surface rust. A lot of it still got the paint on it here. Gonna get the overload springs. Oh, this apparently went somewhere. Not anymore. Anyways, got some overload springs. The springs are in decent shape on this Dana 60 rear end, Dana 44 front end. It's a full-time four-wheel drive truck. The brown truck is part-time, as you can see, with the selectable hubs. So we're gonna do some mixing and matching here. Got some old DOT doors on here. But we're going to uncover this sucker and cut it up. Hoping this thing's not full of creatures like raccoons or whatever. I have these fenders, these step-side fenders. Got these out of the junkyard. They are a little banged up, but they're very, very solid. Just missing a couple of cracks in the front and stuff like that, but they're really, really solid shape. Because the stock fenders in this truck are absolute garbage. So I saved these. A little while ago, well, a couple years ago now, out of the junkyard. Ow. You can see somebody made a bracket where the bolts all broke out of this thing, but good for parts and pieces. We can probably run them. Stuff's really hard to find here in New York State. It's going to take parts off of 4 different trucks to restore this. That's probably shot. It's Harbor Freight. Elastics don't last long out in the sun. Neither do their tarps. Anyways. Ooh, that's rotten. She's completely shot. As you can see, no floors, rockers, everything is completely garbage. But let's take a closer look. She rotten. No floors. It does have the Adventure bucket seats here. You can save those. That one's hashed. This truck sat for probably 20 years and no glass in it, which didn't do it any favors. Adventure Sport right there. The dash pad's actually a remarkably nice shape. I'm going to be saving all that. We're going to take and we're going to cut the roof right off at Kirk, right through here since there's no glass. I'm going to save this curved roof skin because it's the earlier curved roof. We're going to save that. Not really any reason to save the back of the cab. The doors, The guy put them on a long time ago. They a little punky on the bottom. I'm gonna try to get them cleaned out. We'll save these. They're not really mint or cherry. Probably rotted in there. Looks like it's coming through everywhere, but and it's caved in. But I'll save them. Just why not? Fenders are junk, all rotted on the bottom here. Got the bird bath hood though. The bird bath hood is in good shape. I might run this right in my truck, just like it is in black. No grill, core support. So this truck was a factory snowplow package, Meyer snowplow as well. See the mount down there? It's actually got a little bit beefier springs, 4-leaf springs in the front. Actually 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-leaf springs, so it's 1 ton, big dog. So we're going to commence with some cutting here. Just kind of unbolt the doors, cut the roof off, and get the seat out. Just kind of disassemble this whole thing right down to nothing, just the bare chassis and the motor and transmission. And then I'll be ready to drag it around up to the shop, cut some more stuff off, like the tube bumper off the back. We'll cut that off and get this thing ready for cleaning up the chassis and painting it and getting it ready to swap the drivetrain in for the brown truck. I got the front clip off here. I got the inner fender still on the driver's side because it's got the plow pump and stuff hooked to it. But I got the inner fender and fender off this side, hoods off. Core support's probably going to stay on the chassis for now. I might just reuse this one. Wait, it's got rod in it. Well, I don't know, we'll see. I've got a square headlight one that's really nice, and I might cut the round headlights out of this and graft them together to make one good one. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I pulled the fenders off. I took the trim off around the windshield. I want to cut the roof loose and to save the lights in the early low crown cab roof. But it's all rotted in the header there because the roof leaked from a light that was up on, probably from those lights leaking. But I'm just going to cut the posts, and I think the whole back of the cab is actually rotted free. Once I cut the rocker on this side, I can probably lift the whole back of the cab off. So let's try it, see what happens. Watch this post, I might as well just cut it like here, I guess. Dang, bro. Pinching me. There you go. Uh-oh. Yikes. Making something happen here. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. Thing is not structurally integral. That's bad. It's real bad. There's some pieces I got to save on here. It's got the seat, the center bucket seat bracket, the lights, and I wanted to save trim around the windshield, but it's hard to get it off. This is so bad, I might just take the death wheel and cut the skin off the top and just save the skin and junk the rest of this. The rest of this is super, super bad. Right after some precision disassembly and ripping and tearing, this thing had flexed so much from being rotten that the firewall seam was all rotted and broken. And I cut a little bit on that side. I think I can kirk the cowl right off this thing now. I disconnected it from the engine. Yes. Yep, everything's disconnected, so it should flip right off here. Let's see. Whoa, well, that wasn't too bad. Almost destroyed the camera, caught it in the nick of time. Got the cowl off. The floor is severely rotted. I gotta take the two back cab bolts out. They appear to be still holding on. Take the seats out, and then the rest of the floor should just lift right off the chassis, and then where it should be stripped down for transport up front to start grinding into this thing, clean it up, get the motor training transfer case out, get everything else stripped off that doesn't need to be on it, probably the core support for now, radiator and all that come out, strip all the brake lines and the old fuel lines off, and then start cleaning up this chassis. I was going to sandblast it, but it looks like it's pretty decent, and to be honest, I don't have my sandblaster functional, and it's going to be quite a while probably before I get that fixed. And this thing is in really nice shape. Underneath here it's just a little bit of surface rust, so I'm going to go ahead and do the right thing like Derek says, and I'm just going to, that's going to be fine, just going to Eastwood rust encapsulator it, then fluid film the crap out of it, and it's going to be plenty good enough for the life of this truck. It's not going to be a show restoration. This is going to be a beater fun truck that's going to be a workhorse dump truck, plow truck, big tires, loud exhaust, workhorse. So that's my plan. So I'll strip the rest of this stuff off here. The sun is going down. I'll get the rest of it off, and then we'll finish out checking out the bare chassis. Okay, I got the floor unbolted here the rest of the way, and it should come right off in a little pile of action. Get over here. Careful. Ugh. Here we go. Maybe. Look out, everything is sharp. Oh yeah. Look at that. Nice. We got here wiring. Speedometer cable. A little bit of everything. Nice. That's it. Junk. Bam, so there we go. The chassis is ready for stripping action and painting. got our transfer case. I'm not sure which one this is, but there's a tag I can read there in a second. What's the exhaust do? Oh, okay. So everything looks good, just a little bit of surface rust, but this will clean right up, like I said. And we're going to take it and we're going to do, what do we call it, rust converter, or rust encapsulator on the whole thing. Paint it black with that, then fluid film it. But I got a 727 here. I got this transfer case, which might be a 203, maybe 205, 203, not sure yet. Cast iron, very heavy. And then got the 360 2-barrel here that runs, but smokes, is super tired. But that's it. So I'm gonna get all this mess cleaned up. It's getting dark, the sun's going down. It's took me all day to cut this truck up, but this is a good starting point to start building this chassis. I'm gonna drag this thing up around and up front and get it in front of the garage. Then we'll get it inside. We'll pull all the motor and training transfer case out, drive shafts, and fuel tank, exhaust system, all the brake lines, all the wiring, miscellaneous wiring that doesn't need to go down. Get rid of the old shocks, front and rear. Cut the big tube bumper off the back. It's all like homemade action. Get this thing stripped down, get the core support and the radiator off. That radiator's junk. Get all this stripped right down to nothing. And then I've got one of them Eastwood Contour SVTs that I bought a year ago and never used. So we're going to use that to strip all this down real nice and then paint this thing up. And this is going to be a really nice, super solid chassis to build off of, with a 5-leaf front, 1-ton springs, the big 1-ton springs in the back with overloaders, Dana 60, Dana 44. So this truck's going to be a beast. It's going to be awesome. So there we go. Out here stripping old junk Dodges all day long out here in back of the Cook Speed Shop. It was a nice day. A lot got done. Now I got to clean all this disaster up. But I'll do that. Come back next time. We'll have another awesome video. Probably doing Dodge stuff, maybe other stuff. Who knows? I'll figure it out when we get there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Bam! Here at the Quick Speed Shop. I'm a professional. Don't try this at home.